The community begins saying goodbye to a fallen hero. Now at 4, we're in Richmond, where visitation has started for police officer Daniel Ellis. Another community is paying tribute to a man who dedicated his life to helping others. How people in Jessamine County are honoring a paramedic who died in the line of duty.
Clouds beginning to scoot on out of town. Looks like we're going to clear things up as we go into the first part of Wednesday. It's the second part of Wednesday. Things get a little bumpy. We'll show you why just ahead.
This is WKYT News at 4.
Welcome to WKYT News at 4. I'm Jennifer Palumbo. What started as a cloudy and cool day has turned into a sunny afternoon in parts of central Kentucky. Here's a look at downtown Lexington from one of our sky cams where it's in the 50s and you can see the sun right now. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has a first look at the forecast. Chris?
Yeah, we were preaching patience all day yesterday on getting the sun in here today. We said you'd wake up to kind of gloomy conditions, but by the afternoon the sun would appear. And here we go. Look at this shot. Southeastern Kentucky, Jackson just now getting in on some of those peaks of sunshine there. Lexington, though, we've had the sun breaking out over the past couple of hours. Still some clouds, though, so it's not a completely blue sky. 54 degrees right now. Humidity's up there, 59%. Winds are coming at us now, shifting to the west and the southwest at around 8 miles per hour. You can see the back edge of the overcast right on top of the bluegrass region, and we broaden out the view a little bit. And into eastern Kentucky, we still hang on to a mainly dry sky, even with some overcast conditions. Let's take you to the Plain States. That's where our big weather maker is coming into play as we go through the next few days. That low pressure that is pinwheeling across the Denver area will head toward the Great Lakes, deepening along the way. That's going to drag a cold front into central and eastern Kentucky. That means storms and winds on the increase, and we will track the both of them, Jennifer, when I come back here in about 15 minutes from now.
Thanks, Chris. Family, friends, and fellow law enforcement officers have started saying goodbye to Richmond police officer Daniel Ellis, who was killed in the line of duty. He died Friday, 2 days after being shot in the head while investigating an attempted robbery. His visitation began 2 hours ago at EKU's Alumni Coliseum. Victor Puente is live in Madison County with our top story at 4. Victor?
Today, we've seen hundreds of men and women walk across this parking lot to pay their last respects to Officer Daniel Ellis. That includes a lot of men and women in uniform from across the state. Ellis's body was brought to Alumni Coliseum this morning from the Oldham, Roberts, and Powell Funeral Home. His visitation began at 2 and lasts until 8 o'clock tonight. His funeral is at 11 o'clock tomorrow. To help with traffic, Eastern Kentucky University has canceled classes. That starts at 4:45 today, running through tomorrow afternoon. Ellis was shot last Wednesday while investigating an attempted robbery. The 4 people charged in connection to that case were arraigned yesterday. The man police say pulled the trigger, Riley Sizemore, had his bond set at $2.5 million. Ellis and his wife were both graduates of EKU. One of his fraternity brothers told us Ellis had been like a big brother to many of them. Some of the first responders who came out said even though he wasn't a part of their department, still felt like they had lost part of their family.
It doesn't hit your agency, but you think about what if it was one of yours. And again, we're all brothers and sisters, so it hits home even if you're a county or 2 counties away or even a state away when you hear about a brother or sister fallen.
Tomorrow during the funeral, a lot of the roads around EKU will be closed. Following that service, a procession will travel 3 hours from here to Adair County, where Ellis will be buried. Live in Richmond, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Ellis is survived by his wife and young son. All Madison County schools will be closed tomorrow. The school system is offering shuttles from 3 different locations to EKU for the funeral. Hundreds of high school students will be among those paying their respects to Officer Ellis. The procession carrying his body will pass Rockcastle County High School on Kentucky 461 tomorrow. More than 800 students attend the school, and the principal expects most of them to be standing along the road as the procession passes through. Students have been asked to wear blue in support of Officer Ellis. Students will be out of class when this happens, but the principal says this event will be an educational experience like no other.
Our students will be impacted by that processional and seeing the number of officers who are present and just knowing that that family is in that processional and that motorcade and that they are going to bury a husband and a father and a brother and a son, and we want them to be mindful of that.
The school is asking parents to be mindful of the procession and plan their student pickups accordingly. Another community is paying tribute to a man who served his community. Jessamine County paramedic John Mackey died yesterday at UK Hospital, several days after a car hit him in downtown Nicholasville. People have been putting up green lights to honor the 40-year-old Nicholasville native who spent the past 16 years working with Jessamine County EMS.
Extremely proud of the people that we have in this town that serve us, the ambulance and the police and the fire. And they all responded to my accident, so yes, I'm very proud of them.
Mackey is survived by his wife and 3 children. His visitation is Thursday at Bethel Harvest Church from noon to 9. His funeral will be there Friday afternoon at 2. We're working on a number of other stories for WKYT starting at 4:30. Sam Dick joins us from the newsroom with a look at some of the news in progress. Good afternoon, Sam.
Good afternoon, Jennifer. A Lexington woman is accused of trying to run over a police officer in Frankfort. Miranda Skinner faces several charges, including attempted murder of a police officer. Police say Skinner drove away from a traffic stop in a stolen car and nearly hit an officer. She then crashed through a metal gate and drove onto the Juniper Hill golf course before running away. Police say they later found her hiding in someone's backyard in a doghouse. We'll have more on this story ahead on WKYT News at 6 o'clock. Fire season is upon us now. It's getting consistently cooler outside. The Lexington Fire Department continues to help people install smoke detectors for free. The detectors have a value of $35, and they're free to anyone in Fayette County thanks to a donation from the Red Cross. The only rule, you have to let the firefighters come out and install it for you. Homeowner Greg Thomas took them up on the offer because he doesn't want the chance of not having a working smoke detector.
This wintertime, you hear about the kerosene heaters, which I do have one of those. I don't use it unless my heat goes out. But the kerosene heaters can be dangerous.
Check on the back of your smoke detector to see if it's older than 10 years, and if so, it should be replaced completely, not just the battery. The fire department has already installed more than 1,000 smoke detectors since the summer, and you'll hear from the fire department ahead on WKYT News at 5:30. That's a look at some of the news in progress. Jennifer, back to you.
Thank you, Sam. Now to a story making headlines across the nation at 4. Tonight, many of the GOP presidential candidates hope to make a mark in a constantly shifting field. The 4th Republican debate is in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, but only 8 candidates made the cut for the primetime stage. Emily Schmidt has tonight's lineup.
It's good to see you, gentlemen.
This is what the top of the Republican field looked like during the first GOP debate back in August. Things have changed. Scott Walker dropped out, Carly Fiorina moved up, and Chris Christie and Mike Huckabee are headed to Tuesday's undercard debate on Fox Business Network.
This is a strange election, isn't it?
Donald Trump is still stage center, leading the group, but with less breathing room. The latest CNN ORC poll of Iowans shows him with 25% support. Ben Carson 2 points behind. Marco Rubio at 13%, high enough to get Trump's attention in a series of tweets calling Rubio a total lightweight, a highly overrated politician. 4th in the poll, Jeb Bush is looking to recharge his performance with this just-released ad.
My record of government, I think, shows the path of what could happen in Washington.
Most of the candidates are spending hours before the Milwaukee, Wisconsin debate out of the public eye, with the exception of Rand Paul talking about charter schools.
If the school in your neighborhood's not good, maybe having the choice to go to another school ought to be your opportunity and your choice.
And John Kasich shooting baskets with the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks made the playoffs this year.
Sort of like Kasich, he's going to take this whole people, not just to 6 games, but he's going to win it in 7.
A sports analogy getting its test when the basketball arena moves to the political one. In Washington, I'm Emily Schmidt reporting.
Wall Street closes slightly higher as investors await news on an interest rate hike. The Dow up 28 points to close at 17,758. The Nasdaq lost 12. A lot of factors can affect the stock market, even the weather. Stanford researchers found bad weather can generate a mild depression that distracts even the most sophisticated of investors. Brokerage firm analysts experiencing bad weather were 9 to 18% less likely to issue an annual earnings forecast, recommending to buy, hold, or sell, or make target price recommendations. Stocks responded slower to earnings news on days when Wall Street experienced bad weather. Picking out health insurance can be tricky. There are HSAs and PPAs, marketplaces, and exchanges. Mary Maloney has tips on what to look for during open enrollment.
There are many things to consider when picking out health insurance, but experts say first, you should check your finances.
This is the time of year where you need to compare your total cost for 2015. What did you spend on medical insurance? What did you spend on out-of-pocket costs so you can determine should you be in a high-deductible health insurance plan or should you be in a low-deductible health insurance plan?
Especially since independent experts expect plans to cost more this year than they did in the past. Know the out-of-pocket maximum. Look at copays for visits or co-insurances to see how much extra you'll spend to see your doctor. Make sure your doctors are considered in-network. Typically, seeing someone off your plan will cost you more money. If you have the option, contribute to a health savings account or HSA. Money put into the account is tax deductible. In some cases, employers can also contribute to your fund. And check your plan. Even if you're automatically enrolled for 2016, review your options because plans can change. Simple tips that won't make you sick over health insurance coverage. For Consumer Watch, I'm Mary Maloney.
Nissan is joining a list of automakers dumping Takata. The automaker said it will no longer use the Japanese company's airbags that contain ammonium nitrate. Takata was ordered to pay $70 million for hiding evidence and failing to issue timely recalls. It's the largest fine ever imposed by U.S. safety regulators, and it could rise to $200 million if Takata doesn't replace the airbags within 2 years. Last week, Honda and Toyota announced they would also stop using Takata's airbags in their vehicles. Online retailers are expected to have a very happy holiday season. The tech consulting firm Forrester Research is predicting online shopping will grow 3 times the rate of in-store sales and rise 11% this November and December. With Amazon, Target, and Walmart offering online deals earlier this season, Cyber Monday is still expected to be the biggest online shopping day of the year.
Well, first we get a live look at Lexington traffic flow. We can see mostly green happening this afternoon, which means that most roads are running okay. And a closer look around Lexington to see the circle in Man of War, and then over to a collision. This crash is at Harrodsburg and Wellington. Now, outbound Harrodsburg Road, the crossover is being affected, approaching New Circle to clear that, but it's not a major impact. Traffic's getting past it at least, so that's the good news. Drive times, other than that, should be about normal. Trying to head toward Richmond this afternoon on I-75. We're good to go. Same into Scott County, Georgetown, and it looks like normal traffic flow to Winchester. Now back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Officer Don. Christmas is less than 2 months away, and some people are already thinking about how to make the holiday brighter for children in need.
Deanne Stevens out and about today, and Wildcat Moving going to tell us a little bit about the Toy Chest Charity Toy Drive. Hi, Deanne.
Good afternoon, guys. We are here at Wildcat Moving, where we've turned into a little bit of Santa's helpers. Check out all the fabulous toys lined up. Christmas tree is up, and we are ready to help out. The Toy Chest Children's Charity, Ron Gray, is with us. This is such an exciting time, Ron, for you guys.
It's the best time of the year. We are excited about kicking off our toy drive for this year. We're hoping to sponsor nearly 500 kids.
Wow, and you all do this. How many years have you done this now? Like, this is the
This is the fourth year.
Fourth year, and I always love seeing the pictures of delivering those toys to the kids. Talk a bit about that. Why do you all do this?
Well, we're a group of all volunteers. No one's paid on the board or volunteers, and we want to be a part of the community, give back, and create a little joy and happiness for kids that might otherwise not have it on Christmas morning.
And you do that for children in Central and Eastern Kentucky, don't you?
We do. Really all over Kentucky is our target base, but mostly Central and Eastern Kentucky.
All right, so right now, you've opened the door. This is it. This is the kickoff for the toy drive. What do folks need to do?
This is it. You can drop off a new toy at Wildcat Moving here on Big Run, or you can make a donation on our website at thetoychest.org.
Now, so awesome people like the folks from Wildcat Moving, Raleigh Bruner here, are helping out with the Toy Chest. Raleigh, why did you guys decide to do this?
Well, helping kids during the holidays, I mean, there's nothing better. So we're just really happy to be a part of it.
This is kind of like a win-win for everybody, too. You get to see some awesome people who are pitching in and bringing those new toys here. And in turn, you're going to see some happy faces on little kiddos.
Exactly. There's no better way to get into the holiday spirit, you know, so.
So what do folks need to do? Look for you. Tell them where you're located.
We're at 203 Big Run Road. You can't miss the building. It's all blue. So just come by between 10 and 5, Monday through Friday. Drop off your toys. We'll be happy to spread a little Christmas cheer.
Awesome. The Toy Chest Toy Drive is now on. Also, you want to check out their new website. We're going to talk about that coming up at 4:50. Drop off your gifts now. I'm T.N. Stevens, out and about at Wildcat Moving. Back to you guys.
Time for better living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. Could certain antibiotics be bad for your heart? Researchers in China analyzed dozens of studies involving more than 20 million patients and found that people who took antibiotics known as macrolides were at a small but significant risk of sudden cardiac death. Macrolides are commonly used to treat pneumonia and bronchitis. Where you carry body fat could put you at greater risk of heart disease and death. In an article in the Annals of Internal Medicine, normal weight adults who had what's called central obesity had twice the mortality risk of those whose body mass index was considered overweight or obese. If you want a healthier heart, grab some friends. The American Heart Association found that group therapy can be very beneficial in helping patients improve their cardiovascular health. Over the course of a year, 2/3 of participants who encouraged and supported each other saw positive changes in their health, and almost half reduced their tobacco use. Researchers are breaking down the science behind sexy accents. British Airways recently studied accents by polling 1,000 Brits and 1,000 Americans. The sexiest accent, according to the survey, is French or Irish. A dialect expert says certain accents can make us sound more educated, even more relatable. Americans found Sean Connery's accent the best. Brits preferred the subtle Tennessee drawl of Morgan Freeman.